What is up, my cannonballs? We're back for a short, quick second on this chilly ass night. It was just warm a couple of nights ago. Now it's chilly, but that ain't why I'm here today. I ain't here today for that. But I'm just on here, just really just shooting shit. We're being shooting the stuff. I'm trying to stop cussing. Shooting the stuff, just my ass. I'm just getting back from the plate, from the plantation. Just getting back from the plantation, trying to enjoy a little bit of my downtime while I can. While I can. But make sure okay, that's still the same. But anyways, I was coming across a video, right? And it was a lady. Well, how can I say this? Because she's no longer here with us anymore. But she was just basically saying, and I kind of feel two different type of ways about it. But she was saying that she was just basically saying that, oh, just because the reason why you are gay because you are responding to yeah. Oh my God, I can't even get that right. You are responding to trauma. You are responding to trauma. Me personally, I don't agree with that. I mean, in certain cases, certain individuals out there that may have went through some trauma like that when they have came to molestation, I don't know how they may have reacted to that, but some people may do act in those type of ways, because they may have, I don't want to sound crazy, but how can I say it? I don't think they enjoyed the experience, but you know, being young and going through something like that, it can mess with your mind. So you may choose a different route. But I definitely don't believe that just because you have went through any type of traumas, you know, I would say that well when it comes to molestation, I don't think that all people that didn't experience someone touching on them is the way that it's the reason why they are the way they are. You know, some people are just I feel like hell, it's born this way. Born this way. I mean, I ain't gonna lie to you. Some people choose to live in a way like that, but some don't. But hey, but I don't think people are just harping on the whole fact that, oh my goodness, someone did something to me, so therefore I want to try to go out there and I feel like it's I'm gonna go out there and try to find the same sex and try to see what they can give to me since I've been messed with by the same sex. I don't think it goes like that. I don't think it goes like that at all. Because if it did, I mean everybody would out with if everybody has been through that trauma, if everybody went through that trauma, a lot of folks would have been out here and saying that those same type of lines. You know what I mean? Those same type of lines. Oh, well, since someone tried to arm me, hell, I'm looking for someone. It's almost like you could say the same thing. It's like, oh, I'm looking for somebody that can do that can give me that type of affection, and all of a sudden they arm me. I don't know. Maybe I'm putting a little bit too much on that, but it's the truth. I just feel like sometimes some of those statements can be kind of silly, but at the same time, this was the same person that decided to off someone that she was taking care of, that she was a caregiver of, and you want to say that? Well, you want to try to say that people that are homosexual have trauma with maybe what type of trauma what you dealing with to make you want to deal with? Well, you know what? You went to the war, but even if you did go to the war, why would you want to kill someone that you say you love that brought you into this world? That says a whole lot. That says a whole lot. That's why I don't be listening to none of these niggas out here. You know, look, when you have an understanding about certain things, you sometimes you don't even need teachers for you. You could be your own teacher. You know, a lot of these people out here they love to be conspiracy. What is it, a conspirator? What conspiracy theories? All that. Mm-mm. Look, whatever is going to happen, it's going to happen. I don't need to listen to you. At the same time, you may have knowledge about certain things that may be true, and it may make sense too. At that too, but as me trying to go along to going along with your, with your thinking. Mm-mm, I'm not. I'm not. That's why I'm always gonna continue to make the right decisions for me. And if I need a little help, I will ask. I will ask. I ain't out here trying to rely on the next human being out here that I feel like, oh my goodness, they acting as if they are the next, the next coming. No. I'm supposed to be relying on your word. Shoot. Mm. Honestly, I rather understand the word for my own self. So therefore, when I am hit with certain things and obstacles, I know how to handle that. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna lie to you. Some people be a little lost, not like me. They be a little lost, but yeah, I just feel like that statement that she made. Everybody's entitled to their opinion, but I just feel like that's not as. For me, you can say that for one, but you can't say that for all. You can't say that for all. Everybody that is, that is, well, I would say, damn, how can I say? Because I don't want to. I'm trying to watch what I say. That's why I'm sounding like that's why I'm sounding like the way I'm sounding. But you know, if I'm down, I'm trying to get together, trying to get together. But I honestly feel like a lot of folks hasn't just because they went through certain things or if they haven't went through certain things, it doesn't. It's not a reflection on how they are moving in today's time. You know, in certain cases it can be, but in other stance, it's not. People make their own minds up to be what they want to be. And whatever they like for the time being. Look, it's millions of people that's out here that they say they bisexual, but at the same time they really just trisexual. They just trying something for the time being, and then all of a sudden they don't want to try it no more. It's just it's a lot. But I don't. I just I can't put titles on people. I ain't finna put. I ain't finna be trying to say, oh, this is why you are the way that you are. No, I ain't finna do that because you I mean hell. Everybody walks from a different. Everybody has to have different types of walks in life, and we can't say. Some can say, but I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna say it because hell, I wasn't there. I wasn't there with you. I don't know why you turned. Well, I'm gonna say I don't know why. A man or a woman, why they decided to stick with the same sex. Hell, it is what it is. If they like, if that's what they like, that's what they like. You know, whether they was touched or not. And a lot of people that's out here that is homosexual, a lot of them haven't really been touched. In my eyes, I feel like hell. If, for people to come out here and say, "Oh, it's an illness and sickness," no, you may think that. You could think that. But I just feel like sometimes things are just what it is. I ain't gonna sugarcoat it. They are just what it is. You know, if you like what you like what you like. And I say if you want to change, that, hey, go out there and try to do something and really try to do a 360 and really do something totally different than what you've been doing. Get out of your normal. Experience. I mean, experiment. I'm just saying because a lot of people that I know that has that has been dealing with men. A lot of them haven't had any they was never involved in with a woman before. I have been plenty of times with plenty, but well, not plenty, but just and I had my shares, but at the when I was going through something at the time, that's kind of something that I wasn't too much feeling at the moment. So I switched up, but hey, different strokes for different folks. We can't just put tags on things, you know. Hell, just because you had a hard life, I mean, no, just because you had a hard upbringing, is that going to be a reflection on how you are in today's time when you are making things happen for yourself? It's just for me when people make statements like that, it's just like you just kind of just talking for one individual. You ain't speaking for everybody because everybody you know don't struggle at all like that and if they did they got other avenues other avenues, okay, to get out of whatever they may be going through you know I don't know. I think sometimes when people talk they just think about one Pacific individual, and they try to latch that one individual in the same category with everybody, and you really can't do that. You just can't, because everybody is different. We all come from different walks of life. We just can't do that. Mm-mm. But yeah, I ain't gonna lie to you. A lot of the stuff that has happened in the past, I let go a lot of stuff, even though even though I can think about it, even though I know it didn't happen, but I don't let it affect my mood or let me really get me to the point where I'm not getting shit done. I'm not getting things done. I need to get things done. I ain't got time to be hoping, harping on things that happened to me when I was a child or in my teens or, even a couple of years ago. Like, no, we gonna have to get past that because it's gonna be a lot more things that you gotta face. You know, and whatever has happened, it happened. Yeah. Did you open your mouth and say something about it when you was going through something? When you was going through something, to that extent. Hell, and if it didn't change, hell, move on. Hell, you stop. I can't. I don't like being around. I don't like being around people that that likes to kind of like hold on and stuff. You gotta let that shit go. You gotta let it go. Because if you don't let it go, I mean, like, it's just gonna continue to be on your mind, and you're gonna be walking around here with other individuals that don't want to really too much hear it. Because I'm gonna keep it real with you. People can help you with your issues, but at some point they're gonna get tired of hearing your issues, and you gonna have to find it within yourself to find something else to talk about. Because ain't nobody gonna want to hear the same old things over and over and over and over again. I don't. I look. I have experienced that from really some years. Some years. I done experienced that through some years of talking with people, and I noticing. Look, I go off energy, so therefore it's like I can tell. I can read between the lines, and I can tell when a person may not want to really too much, even want to get to even really want to give a topic of conversation that's not in their liking, any light because they tired of hearing it. And can you blame them? You can't blame them, because I'm one of the ones where you can talk to me about your issues, and if we get to a point where you still gonna go back and make the same decision, hey, I'm gonna just give you my advice, but when it comes to the crying and what should I do, hell, I already told you. So it ain't too much that I can't say as a friend. When it comes to anybody, I ain't gonna lie to you, it ain't too much that I can't say. I can't, because I mean, hey, the proof is in the pudding, and like I always say, the ball is in your court. So whether you are a woman or a man, that if you are a friend of mine, if I help you, I want you to figure that out. I want you to use your common sense. If you say you're hurting, and you need to get away, you need to get away. If you can't, I'll be at a loss. I will be at a loss for words. I'll be at a loss for words because it's only so much that I can do, and I've always been that friend to pour out a lot of myself to help people, and I'm glad that I'm getting to a point where I have to cut that a little, I gotta cut it off because I'm not, I just can't save you, you know. I can give you the best advice as I can, but I can't save you. I want you to grasp. I want you to grasp, the reality of whatever you are in. You gotta find a way out. You do. You gotta find a way out. Because I can't. I just can't. I can't help you. So much when you are dealing with something. Severe to the point where it's causing you to lose sleep and it's causing you to, have emotional breakdowns. You constantly want to, talk and text a person. Hey, I tell you, hey, you do what you feel, do what you feel, and it's not. And when I have people that surround me that's like that, it doesn't even affect it doesn't affect our relationship, at all. But at some point, they will get the point where what I'm trying to say to them, and they will understand that, hey, you are right, and I know that you cannot help me with this issue, and I'm gonna have to just do something like I would normally would do, and that's what I want them to do, because if I can be strong, I want you to be strong. I try to encourage a lot of people to be strong. You got to be strong. I sung about it some years ago. You got to be strong, because look, I was a weak person. I was very very vulnerable. I was so weak. Oh my goodness, I was so weak, you guys. I was so weak. just really, I wasn't. I don't know. I was depressed a little bit here and there, but I shook that off because I don't like crying. You know, I can't tell you the last time I did cry. Well, maybe some months ago, maybe a month or two ago. I don't know because there was a lot of stuff going on, but you know, I want a lot of people just to be strong. You know what I'm saying? Just be strong and just know that shit. You can shake whatever you got going on off. It ain't gonna. It may not take. You know. Well, hold on. How can I say this? Um, it may not. You know. Shake. You may not be able to shake it off in a day, but at some point in due time, you know, whatever you feel, whatever you are going through, it's not gonna last always. You know, and if it's a way that you can get out of that, hey, find a way and continue to do what you gotta do for yourself. Honestly, 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 because everybody ain't out here. Everybody's. A lot of folks ain't concerned about how you feeling on the inside. I don't get on here and get to talking like that because that's not really a lot of people's business, and a lot of people won't even really too much know about that because that ain't really me like that to get on here to be saying or really talking, well, really to be talking and that type of talk, because I don't feel the need to give that to the world. But hey, if you want to, you can. I ain't doing it. I ain't doing it. I ain't doing it at all. I'm not. I am glad that you guys are, some of you guys up here in the bushes listening to me for the time being. I know this may sound like I'm all over the place. I'm trying to watch my words. I know it's gonna sound so fucked up, but hopefully it comes out right. Damn, damn Cannon, damn Cannon. Mm. Well, they call me Mr. Cannon. I like being called Mr. Cannon, even though I'm not a Cannon. But my first name is my last name. Well, hold on. The first letter in my last name begins with the same begins with the C. So the C's ain't never left me. I pay attention to all that stuff. It's like something how all that stuff be aligning with each other. Like I'm gonna give you an example, a prime example, you guys. Like my okay, I have family members that is born. I have family members that is born on the 6th, and then I got another family members that is born on June 6th. You know, and then I got another set of people that is born on the 6th. I don't mean to do the sixes, but it's just something how you got twins on the 6th, and then you got someone that is biologically related to you on the 6th, and it's like, wow, you're just a month away from me, but at the same time, we both have the same the birth date, the date of it, not the month, but the birth date. We both have the 6th, hey, and we are, I ain't gonna lie, that person is me and him. We're kind of, well, he a Gemini, but Gemini and Cancers are kind of are just it's close. They close. I ain't gonna lie. It seems like that's all I attract. Gemini's, and I used to attract Sagittarius a lot. Um, but I'm not really too big on all that astrology stuff. But yes, it's something how certain things works. Yes, indeed. Just like when I had a little situation that happened with somebody, but I shouldn't even bring that up because that's old. But I look at the numbers. I met somebody when I was 23, and then 30. I don't know, 32. They tried to come back around, and I had to let them know I can't. I'm sorry. You had the chance. Shit. 30. I met you at 23, and I had to let you go around 2020, 23. Because baby, I had enough of that. And I found some, I found some, when you find somebody that truly love you and like you for who you are, that's like one of the best feelings in the world. I ain't gonna lie to you. Because when you meet all these damn frogs that's just looking for one thing, it's just like, oh man, what am I doing here? Am I really selling myself this short? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. But oh, you know what, you guys, that worst, it was one thing that I wanted to talk about, but I don't think I should talk about that because that's very, very private. But I'm gonna just say this: But I'm just I'm gonna say it like this. Um, when it comes to, I would say when it comes to a partner, and you are not you're not getting all of what you want out of them, and you have talked and told them, a lot of the times you give your man or your woman, you know, not a right to go out there and cheat, but you give them no other option to go out there to cheat. Honestly, and that's not right. It's not right. It's not right. But I really do feel like if your partner is telling you that you're not showing, this in this area and that area, you need to take heed to that, because you know you can really mess with a person's, mind. Like, damn it, am I good enough? Am I attractive? Are you still into me? You can really mess up a person's mind, and that's why it's important when it comes to any party, whether you are a woman or a man. If your partner telling you you ain't doing this and doing that, for them, you need to change that. You need to change it. Because if you don't change it, I promise you, you know, it's not gonna. Well, how can I say this? It won't make the situation better. Well, it can make it better, but if you don't change it like you need it, like your partner like your partner need for you to be changing that, you're gonna lose them to the streets. You're gonna lose some. You'll lose people to the streets from that. And me personally, I don't promote cheating, but I would want somebody to make it work. But I also would want, and if I was with somebody and they was telling me that all of what I ain't doing ain't enough, I try to do my best to satisfy them so I can keep them around. Cause I don't want nobody cheating on me. I don't want nobody going out there and doing this person and that person, and then come back home and being in my face. Like, no. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. But you know what? When a partner doesn't change, when they have been told that they need to change certain things, because one party is not feeling like they are not getting enough in certain areas, a lot of the times that can come from hurt, past, or really past hurt. Past hurt can cause a lot of. I'm not gonna show you that because you done already did what you did. Hmm I ain't gonna lie to you. Past hurt can really, affect the whole, you know, whether you are in a relationship or a marriage. Well, same thing, but it's different. You know, but well, same thing, but you know, but that can affect a whole lot. It can affect a whole lot, but you gotta see. Anytime someone that has been cheated on, you gotta get out of that headspace, and try to see, if you can do a little something different, instead of just being in your ways, because being in your ways can cause your mate to move and go and do this and do that, you know. But you know what? Different strokes for different folks. Sometimes people are gonna have to work through that, because I honestly I can't I can't help people no more with that when it comes to that whole cheating shit. I ain't gonna lie to you, I can't. Mm-mm. But I also can help a person when it comes to what you need to do for your partner that you are trying to pursue, that you say that you love. I can help him. I can help you in that department. I can. I don't mind helping you in that department. I don't. Cause I want you to shit, hell, keep your mate. Because if you don't keep your mate, just think about it. Not only does it affect the people that's around you, but it's affecting the people that's close to you, to the point where it's like, damn, now that you done, you have decided to still be in your ways and not, change anything, but you falling back on people that got other issues, and they got to put their issues to the side to help you with your issue, because you are stuck in your ways. You know, that's why I say, you guys. It's a lot of things that I feel like some people don't even understand that anytime you make certain decisions, man, or how you want to be, because you all up in your attitude, it can have a domino effect on everybody that's around you or them. I ain't gonna lie to you.
It can. I done seen it happen plenty of times. One person made a decision, shit, it affected the damn whole the whole clan. You know, it affected the whole clan, the whole village, if you ask me. You know, a lot of these folks come go out here. They go out here and make these decisions, and them not knowing what them make. Well, I ain't gonna make no excuse for them, but they may know, but they still go against the grain. And you know, whatever they do out there, you know, and they bring it back home to the village. Shit, they rely on you to come through for their aid. You know, and that's sad because that's like another generational curse when it comes to certain situations and people. I ain't lying, because it hasn't been broken. It hasn't. I feel like people are so well. A lot of us can be immune to certain things, to the point where it's like, oh, it's normal now. No, it shouldn't be so normal now. We gotta unbreak the we gotta unbreak the normal, and let's get into the what how they what was that show called, the new normal? Shit, let's get into the new normal, and let's get out of the old normal. Shit, I ain't lying. It's the truth. But you guys, I think it's it almost two. Oh yeah, it's gonna be 2 o'clock. So my phone finna go dead in a minute. So I gotta give me some Z's. I gotta eat and go right back to sleep and get right back the fuck up. So you guys, ooh, I wasn't supposed to say that. I was not supposed to say the F word, but it happens. But you guys be blessed and not stressed. And I will chat with you guys later on. Oh my god, I feel like this video is gonna be all over the place, but hopefully you guys can understand it and get me. I'm sorry if I'm talking just kind of like in gibberish tone or talk, but I hope you guys understand. But anyways, you guys be blessed and not stressed. I'm out of here and have a blessed day.